Hi Michaela, we received your email asking us to compare the Victor DCX760 to the Varidesk Pro Plus 36. And rather than write you a lengthy email, we thought we'd just create a video for you. So here it goes. We're going to compare the two products. First, let's go over how these two products work. Here's the Victor. You pull on the side, two handles. Once you lift them up, you can push the desk down. Two gas springs provide resistance, makes it a lot easier to pull it back up when you're done. And you can stop at any height in between. The Varidesk works similar to the Victor in terms of having the handles on the side, but there is one big difference. When you put the Varidesk down, you actually have to move forward this way, and then when you pull it back up, it comes back. It actually moves back 13 inches from where it started. One of the most important aspects to consider when looking at a standing desk workstation is how the product fits on your desk when it's at rest and when it's being used. Let's take a look at the Varidesk here. And you can see that this is a normal 24-inch desk that most cubicles have. The frame fits within the 24 inches. But when you do that, if you're up against a cubicle wall, you can see that you would actually not be able to put the product down because there's interference here in the back. So to overcome that, you would probably pull the product forward to give you that clearance. And now you can put it down and not hit the wall. But when you do that, the legs are now extending over the desk, and that creates an unstable situation where it's easy to knock the product off the desk if you lean on it, and that's not good. Unlike the Varidesk, the Victor DCX760 has no problem fitting in a typical cubicle environment. As you can see here, we have the 24-inch depth of the desk, and then when you go up and down, the product moves up and down, straight up and down, no problem. No need to put the frame behind the desk or in front of the desk, which leads to a very safe and secure situation. It's really important to think about your keyboard location when you're using a standing desk product. And for me, I like to have my wrists rested on one of these bumper pads so that I can freely type like this. The issue with the Varidesk is that because of this big curve, you really need to put your keyboard up quite far from where you're standing. And then your arm with your mouse has to go back here like this. So imagine this all day, you're typing, and then every time you use your mouse you have to pull back like this, putting strain on your shoulder. Not necessarily very good ergonomic design. The Victor actually has a lot more functional use for its keyboard. The reason I say it's functional is, without that big curve in the front, you could put your wrist pad down here, get your keyboard closer to your body, and then your mouse here is in parallel with the keyboard. Much more comfortable position. Another thing Victor does is the Victor has two slots here. One that you can put your phone or your tablet in, and then a second one for a writing utensil. And that really helps if you have some things that you need to look at while you're typing, having it right there in front of your hands. Another important consideration is the maximum keyboard height. The Varidesk Pro Plus 36 comes in at 14 inches maximum keyboard height. The maximum keyboard tray height for the Victor is 16 inches. That's 2 inches difference. Ideally, you want to have the keyboard so your hand can be at a perpendicular angle to your body, and that works out just right for me. When I use the Varidesk, it's actually too low, too short for me, which leads to discomfort. Another important consideration is the amount of desk space you'll have when you're standing or sitting in front of your workstation. And the Victor DCX760 has 50% more work surface space on the upper level than the Varidesk. Let's use some real-life artifacts to see how that impacts when you're working. So let's say you have your phone, post-it note, coffee mug, stapler, calculator, a pad of paper, maybe a family photo, and then you have your notebook and your monitor. And you can see this all fits with a little bit of room to spare here on the Victor. Let's try the same set of items on the Varidesk Pro Plus 36. As you can see, the back of the desk tapers, which takes a little bit of the room away from the back. That forces you to keep the monitors a little closer. My family photo is now hidden here. I still have room for my post-it. My calculator sort of comes over my display. I got my coffee. My phone is now over here. But I don't really have anywhere for my writing pad. And that's really important for me because I tend to write when I'm on the phone or take notes on things while I'm on the computer. So there's definitely a loss of space there. Again, 50% more space on the Victor than on the Varidesk. When you buy a standing desk workstation, it's important to think about the monitor and how it will or will not attach to the desk. The only problem with leaving it like this is, number one, it's not height adjustable, and then number two, it can be fairly unstable as you're moving the product. So a lot of people like to buy a monitor arm that will attach to the desk and then keep the monitor adjustable and steady. So if you try to get a third-party clamp mount device with the Varidesk, you can see that it is not going to work. And the reason is the clamp will hit this frame here, this portion right here. There are other type of monitor arms that have a grommet mount where this post will just screw all the way through. And even if you had that type of solution as well, the frame would still get in the way of you turning the bolt right back into the desk. The Victor, on the other hand, is made to accommodate third-party monitor arms as well as Victor's monitor arms. And as you can see, here's that clamp mount again. You can see that it'll easily fit on. The frame is not in the way. There's also a grommet hole, which Varidesk does not have. You take that plug out, and then if you have the grommet type, this post would come all the way through here and into here. And again, you can see it would fit. So there's a lot of options for monitor arms with the Victor. With the Varidesk, you're only able to use the one that they provide. Okay, Michaela, that's all the main points comparing Victor to Varidesk when it comes to standing desk workstations. I'd just like to go over really quick, summarize it for you. The most important thing is that the Victor product moves up and down, straight up and down, easily fits within a 24-inch common cubicle configuration. The Varidesk, as you've seen, moves in and out 13 inches away from the front of the desk. You're going to have to choose from either moving it to the front and overhanging, which is not safe, or giving up the back wall and letting it hit that wall. Another thing that's important for the Victor is that the keyboard tray allows you to have your mouse and your keyboard in parallel with each other, which is much more comfortable than having your arm pulled back. The Varidesk, as you can see with this big cutout, does not allow that. Another thing is the keyboard itself goes up to 16 inches high in the Victor, and the Varidesk is only 14 inches. And then finally, we have 50% more desk space on the Victor for all of those items you need to do your job, whether it be tablets or writing utensils or whatever. The Varidesk, with this big cutout and this curve, loses a lot of that space. All right, Michaela, I hope that works for you. We'll talk again soon.